I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of having to do once a month videos about someone passing away that I grew up watching in television or movies or maybe listening to in music. And today we're going to talk about Paul Darrow, who most of us know as Avon from Blake 7. Now, I don't know if you know Blake 7. A lot of us in the U.S. probably didn't see it, but I discovered Blake 7. Well, first I discovered it in Starlog magazine, where they would do interviews with the cast and talk about the episodes. And I was always intrigued from what I read about the episodes, so when I found out that my local PBS station was showing it every Sunday night at 11, me and my brother tuned in to watch Blake 7. And it looked horrible. It was cheesy, bad special effects, bad everything, except the acting and the writing. The writing was superb. It was really deep characters, really great at writing characters, and really great storylines most of the time. And it did something unusual for a TV show back then, not as usual today, is that one season would be one continuous story. Although each episode would be their own story, that would usually lead into the next episode or have an overall arch. Something you see a lot of today, but Blake 7 was one of the first, at least science fiction shows I know to do this. And this came at a time I was just starting to get into Star Trek The Next Generation, and I didn't really have much science fiction stuff to watch back then. But every Sunday night at 11 o'clock at night, me and my brother had to be in front of the television to watch Blake 7. Now, Paul Darrow played Avon, the, Han Solo type character, although he's a little more rough and rugged than Han Solo. He's the one that didn't want to be with the group, always looking for the next way out, looking for his big escape, go on to better things, or just go into hiding and not do the whole fighting for freedom thing that Blake kept wanting him to do. And throughout the season, he became my favorite characters, as most people's favorite character also. He really brought a lot to the show, and in the later seasons, he really carried the show a lot. So, we're going to look back at Paul Darrow, not just some clips from Blake 7, although mostly will be Blake 7. That's what I know him the most from, but I did see him in some other things here and there. But I felt like probably what many people doing a tribute to Paul Darrow on YouTube, at least not for people from America. So I felt like, hey, I gotta say something. I gotta say goodbye to Paul Darrow. This is like my television's Han Solo I grew up on. I grew up, at least in the late 80s, early 90s, on Paul Darrow and Blake 7. So I'm going to take this moment here to show you some best of Paul Darrow clips. Thank you for watching.
Kerr Avon. When it comes to computers, he's the number 2 man in all the federated worlds.
Who's number 1?
The guy who caught him.
Wait a minute, it's cold out there, and I'm very susceptible to low temperatures. I've got a weak chest.
The rest of you is not very impressive.
You ever cared for anyone?
Except yourself.
I have never understood why it should be necessary to become irrational in order to prove that you care. Or indeed, why it should be necessary to prove it at all.
Any luck, Captain?
Oh, I'm not quite sure, sir. The helicopter reports seeing a man standing by his car in the northwest sector of Area 2, sir.
Well?
Well, apparently he just waved and drove off.
Well, probably another potholer.
Well, yes, sir, but there is something else.
Yes?
Well, a moment ago, I thought I heard a funny kind of a noise, sir.
Well, what kind of noise?
Rather like that sound we heard in the cave, sir.
And he fixed the ankle. He said, you mustn't walk on it for 10 days, blah, blah, blah. Well, I had to. And so they decided that Avon would limp. But you never notice it. It's an episode called Aftermath. And you don't notice me limping. But what you will notice is that Dana, lovely actress called Josette Simon, runs across a white beach, and I'm running after her. Aha, no I ain't. Because what happens is that she's running, and I'm behind the camera here, and as she went past, I appear like this. and it looks as if I've been running as well, you see. Because my full name is Paul Spock Darrow.
Qualities I detect in you in admirably full measure.
I didn't come here to be flattered.
What happened?
They've teleported one of the Crimos up to the Liberator.
You told them how to do it.
Die? I can't do that.
I'm afraid you can. It's the one talent we all share.
It's not a question of sides, Villa.
No, it's a question of intelligence, so your opinion has very little relevance.
I don't like the look of that.
Not again, Villa.
I'm entitled to my opinion.
It is your assumption that we are entitled to it as well that is irritating.
We risked our lives to make Serverland rich.
People tell me that whenever I'm photographed, I always have a cigarette in my hand. You can always tell who it is. I have a cigarette in my hand. Gareth Thomas has a large vodka.
Well, what do you think of it? Very nice. It will be even nicer if you stand absolutely still.
Hold it!
Be polite, and I may let you live.
Be informative, and I may let you die. You'll want that after I've shot off an arm and a leg or two.
I thought you were supposed to be the one with brains.
Brains, but no heart. Now talk or scream, Travis. The choice is yours.
Do not be cross, my lord. Varron pulled me out of hiding to bear witness. Nothing more.
Glad you're still alive, old man. Are you well?
I have been a man with no country. Escala came to me and died at my hand. But it was Barras who killed her.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.